Hello, everybody. Welcome back here to the Wine with Jimmy channel here on YouTube. Delighted to have you on board. This is a wine educational channel which is designed to really help those of you studying the world of wine to get more understanding from it. So, of course, you can gain confidence for your examinations. Welcome to a series here for the WSET Level 4, the Diploma. And this is the D3 section, Wines of the World, and on southwest of France, part of the big French section, which I have filmed nearly 200 videos on. So this is looking at Cahors, which is series 2. So here we are, series 2 of 4. And we're on part 2. Part 1, which was previous to this, and this part is available as free content here on the world of YouTube. But parts 3 through to 6 are only available on my e-learning portal. That's over at www.winewithjimmy.com. Lots of exclusive video content and lots of resources to help you with your studies. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can get in touch by commenting on this video below and click like and subscribe whilst you're down there, because of course that helps us and you will get a wonderful amount of updates, weekly updates that are on this channel. So just really excited to get stuck into this section because we're looking at the viticulture, the geology, the geography of the landscape here. So really excited. Let's rock and roll. So here we are talking first of all about the climate and the weather of this zone. So as mentioned on the previous video, actually, we have a continental climate here, but with a marked Atlantic maritime influence. And that is what gives us about 800 millimeters of rainfall per year. And of course, putting that into comparison to somewhere like Bordeaux, where it's 950, it's less, but it's still significant. So we have rainfall. Most of that does tend to fall in winter. So we do have some rather nice dry summers in this area. Malbec, of course, our principal grape variety, accounting for about 4,000 hectares, suffers less from collure and mildew, and it ripens more regularly in Cahors. This is the area where it's quite significantly decent for its production. Tannat is authorized, as I mentioned in the last video as well, but it's normally less than 10% of the blend, and many wineries don't utilize it at all. They do say that this is actually quite a tough area to ripen those tannins of Tannat, so you can often get green characteristics. And Merlot, of course, is another variety which is tending to be used for the lighter expressions. So our location then, so first of all, the Lot River. The Lot River here, starting its life off towards the Massif Central, meanders its way across as it meets, of course, the Garonne. It's a lovely meandering river. It creates many different aspects across the whole river network, and it acts a little bit like a thermal mirror. So it's important in terms of that heat, and varieties like Malbec like a little bit of heat. So we're on the Lot River. A little bit about wonderful diagram here about the different parts of Malbec, because no doubt you have tried a Cahors which is just nice and fresh and easy, and then you've probably tried one which is dark, inky, tannic, grippy, powerful. How do we produce those different styles? Well, we have different parts of the AOC. So first of all, here is this blue area, which is the alluvial deposit area, right close to the Lot River. You'll see that that's been identified just there. So these are generally rich and alluvial soils, which result in higher yields and generally lower fruit concentration, more wines that are floral and fruity. And they're based on these three deposits. We've got the three terraces. First of all, we have this Première terrace, which is just here, closest to the river, which is really on alluvial soils, making some of the lightest wines. Then we have alluvial soil with a bit more clay and some loose pebbles. That's the deuxième terrasse. And then we have the troisième, the third terrace up here, a little bit higher, which is on more sandstone and clay, and that can make it some slightly firmer wines. But generally speaking, the wines from these terraces tend to make some of the more approachable styles where we might find more Merlot being found, certainly on the clays and the alluvial deposits. But then we've got the other areas. And this is in this yellow color here. This is depicting the limestone, calcaire, that we find in the higher areas. So this is where we have the mid slope, which is the Cahors, which we say just here. It's kind of this area. You probably could count some of the troisième terrasse in this area as well. But generally, we've got poorer soils. The top soils are thinner, and the concentration of the wines here generally are greater due to lower yields. And then on the highest plateau, right at the top, at around 300 and 350 meters, we have the Cahors, and this is where we have very low nutrient limestone, which once again we typically find lower yields and higher concentration of wines. And a lot of the great wines will be found on the plateau and on the slopes of this area, on these limestone-based soils. I think that's quite fascinating because it really does give you an idea of the differences that one can find in Cahors. Then we have our grape growing here. So some general concepts to talk about. This is quite a famous estate, Château de Chambert. The single Guyot training system is the most common, but others will be used as typical in other places. So we will find bush vines and also cordon trained, but Guyot is what we find the most. Machine harvesting, therefore, is widely practiced because of the uniform Guyot training methods. So therefore, vineyards are easier to access, certainly on the alluvial deposits down towards the river, but also actually even on the plateau to the north. Hand harvesting will take place depending on market prices of the wines, machine accessibility, weather conditions, and of course, availability of labor. And really, return on investment is very important here. It's the decisive factor. Hand harvesting, as we know, more selection, very much for more premium productions. It can raise the price of the wines, no doubt. So yes, that's really it for this video talking about the grape growing. The next video we go into is talking about the grape variety in play here, the key grape variety, which is Malbec. So lots of lovely information in terms of history, parentage, of course, key characteristics, and then its style here in Cahors. So please do join me for that. That's available only on my e-learning portal over at www.winewithjimmy, with lots of other goodies to help you with your studies. Any comments or questions or concerns, you can get in touch, of course, by commenting on this video below. And please make sure you click like and subscribe, because liking helps us and subscribing helps you. And that's around it, really. If you want to get in touch with social media, you can do so. All the handles at the bottom of every slide. And if you find yourself in the wonderful rolling hills of the United Kingdom on our fair shores, then do come to the capital city and see me for a class, a glass, or a bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Goodbye.